So the Modern Mystic put out a video. Well, it's 6 a.m. So I think he put it out like over last night. He put out a video called Us. So just to start off, this guy has a a view of the middle class and a view of economics that I do not agree with. Um, Whereas I tend to more agree with Emendam's view of things, where the rich produce nothing, yet they gain everything. They inherit all of their wealth, and they fight to be taxed less, and they fight to make more and more and more, even though they have everything, while the middle class does the production and works their asses off to make a living and to support themselves. Um, and that's kind of just my view of it, and I would agree with Emendum with his videos, such as he has a couple videos. One is called the wealthy are a waste. Another one is called Fluck the Rich. Um, so in this video that's called Us, um, the Modern Mystic, he talks about it like three different things, but in sort of the middle part of the video, he says something which I guess I shouldn't be surprised at, because these things that he's saying are sort of akin to stuff that he normally says at times. But so one thing that he does say is that we are selfish little shits. He is right about that. A lot of us, there is a good amount of selfishness in a lot of us. But with that, he's referring to the middle class. In my opinion, where a hell of a lot more of the selfishness, and he says that we are stupid little shits, and we are selfish because everyone is selfish to a degree, but we are selfish. That's true. And he also says that the middle class, and he also says a certain Western nation. So I'm assuming he's referring to the country that I live in. As in the United States. Um, God, this kind of just angers me a little bit. He says that we are stupid little shits, stupid, selfish little shits. Like I said, we are selfish, but in my opinion, way a hell of a lot more of the selfishness is in the 1%, in the people who are a part of corporate America, the people who have millions and oftentimes billions of dollars, who own everything, who have inherited all the money that they made, most of them not having done a lick of work in their lives. Now, I'm not saying I have the most demanding job. I'm not saying I work harder than anybody else in the world. It's not what I'm saying. But what he's saying is that he calls it the fat bottom of the middle class. All of us with fat bottoms. He says that we are uninspiring individuals, and we demand everything. He says that we demand all these different things, but we are not willing to work for it. And he gives this scenario, and this is when he points to a certain Western nation, as in the U.S. is what he's pretty much saying. Um, he's saying that if a certain world war were to happen there, there would, be it's possible that a group of us fat, stupid, selfish little shit middle classers could come together and really get things done. What he really means by that scenario, I don't really get. Don't really know as to what he's getting at. But the main thing that I got from that middle part of the video is him saying that the middle class, specifically in a Western country, the U.S., are entirely selfish, stupid, uninspiring individuals who demand everything and are not willing to do anything for it. That is just entirely, in my opinion, it's entirely wrong. He has it. This guy has it entirely backwards. He has it entirely backwards because he's had it in a way that his idea is that the rich are people who that they are rich because they have done things for the world, that they have produced something, and that is why they have gained this wealth, they have gained this position in corporate America or corporate Europe or whatever. And he calls us uninspiring individuals. And I assume he's referring to maybe a select, maybe a certain select variety of the middle class, which I do include myself in. But he's saying that we demand everything and all these different things, but we are not willing to do anything for it. Okay, so whatever we're supposed to be doing, I'm not sure because everyone in the middle class, granted, there are people who are not in the middle class, so I would consider them poor. There's a good amount of poor people who are poor and can't really do a whole lot to get out of that class because they're struggling and they can't really do much to. They have however many kids or whatever, and they are not on drugs, but they are having trouble getting themselves out of that predicament. But the middle class are people who most of us, and like I said, there is a group of middle class slash poor people who do demand everything but do nothing, as in people who collect welfare but are not trying to find a job. Stuff like that I do agree is bad. Maybe this is what he's talking about, but that's not the middle class. The middle class is people who do all of the work in a given company. They do all of the production. They are the ones who make the money, while you have these one percenters who are the owners. This is kind of a Marxist, setup here that I do agree with. Where we have these one percenters, or these rich or the rich people who own everything, and many of them have done nothing to get that money. They inherited it, but they never did a thing to really get there. Now, there is people like Mark Cuban. There's people in the company that I work for who are rich, but who started off as as somebody who stocked shelves. So there are people who are rich who have, worked their asses off to get there. There are some people who are rich who are like that, but most of the people who are rich have done very little or done nothing at all to ever really get there. So I wanted to make this little video about the middle class, because the way he characterizes it is entirely wrong. It is entirely false. It's entirely wrong to look at the middle class as entirely selfish, stupid, uninspired, and unremarkable, and just bad people who want everything for nothing. Because I don't know what he's saying that we're supposed to be doing to get what we want, but we basically have a job and we work 40 plus hours a week. Some of us work upwards of 80. But it depends, because it depends on how much they work, but usually it's 40 or more. But to characterize the middle class like that, to me, is just horrible, because if you don't know the people in this country who are in that bracket. I think it's disgusting to look to personally. I think it's disgusting to look at it that way. I'm not trying to throw a pity party because I'm very happy and I'm not complaining about anything. But I just want to call out this person in this who made this video, characterizing the middle class as insolent, petulant children. Because that's not what it is. I think it's entirely the other fucking way around, because it's the rich who are petulant, insolent children who have done nothing to get what they have. Trump being one of them. And they cry and they bitch and they're selfish and they're uninspired and they're stupid, but they do get what they do end up getting what they want, fucking a lot of the middle class over. So I mean, that's really all I have to say on the matter. The middle class are people who are willing to work for what they want. And when things start to get worse, as I think they will, where the middle class get screwed over even more and they make even less money, as will happen, I think that that's not the fault of the middle class. It's the fault of the 1% who's taking everything and producing nothing. So I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on this.